guys, welcome aboard. My name's Richard. Everybody should be able to hear me through their headsets. If you do want to talk, just get those microphones really close to your mouth, otherwise it doesn't pick up your voice. Just got a couple of things to do, and make a radio call, and then we'll be on our way. Turning into a really nice afternoon. Unfortunately, the cloud's still hanging around on top of the Pisa ranges, which or Pisa ranges that we normally head off to and land on. But we've got a really nice sunny spot up on the Canmus there that's probably fine to go to. So folks, just making a radio call and then we'll be on our way. Cromwell Racecourse traffic, India Hotel India is at the hangar this time. Shortly lift, line up, take off runway 09, any other traffic at Cromwell. It's all good, let's go flying. My bike rank just in front of us. Cromwell traffic, India Hotel India is now rolling runway 09. So folks, as we take off here, we're heading towards the industrial side of Cromwell, just down in front of us. As we come around the corner a little bit, big open area out in front of us, the big triangular open area. That's the Schaefer Beetle Reserve, set aside for a beetle that is both deaf and blind. It only comes out at night. The Department of Conservation has set this land aside for it. Must be the only beetle with that big spot of land like that to set aside for itself. We're now going to turn and we're going to fly over Highlands Motorsport Park just off on our right hand side. Highlands was set up by a guy called Tony Quinn. He's a Scotsman. He made his money in Australia selling VIP pet food. And he's built this beautiful race circuit, which has been excellent for the area. So far they've spent about 32 million on developing it. The track is about 4.1 kilometres long. It can be configured into about 27 different versions of a race circuit. Got the go-karting in the middle. You can do fast laps here. Out on the right-hand side of the pit lanes. We're just coming up past the museum up on the hill there. And behind the museum is the Nose restaurant as well. And vineyard, a little vineyard there. A really excellent facility to have here in Cromwell now. So we're going to track on down here, and we're just, we've got the Kauai River coming in on our left-hand side, and the Kauai Gorge coming up ahead of us. The main road is just below us, and it heads off to Queenstown this way as well. Cromwell traffic, India Hotel India is entering the Kauai Gorge, and we'll be left-hand orbit around Mount Difficulty, and then for Bannockburn, any other traffic. Just over Ribbon Vale at the moment, where a lot of the cherries are grown. So we're just entering the gorge just here, and just ahead of us shortly is Goldfields. Goldfields showcases how they used to mine, with a bit of a museum. Go for a walk around and see how they sluice, and they'll even teach you to...
Denver Bike Golf 5000, Cromwell Gorge and track I want to go.
So listening to that radio call. Yep, and Goldfield's just down here, so they'll teach you how to pan for gold as well. There's also a Goldfield jet boat that runs just down here, up for an exciting ride up down the river. And also the Wild Earth restaurant is located just down here as well. And they cook out of wine barrels. All that just on the right hand side, just below us. As we track up the gorge, we've got Mount Michael out on the right hand side, and Mount Difficulty up here on the left hand side of us. Both of which give their names to local wines.
Question 2, make a pause report. G'day, we've just crossed Double Road 1026 for you, time 23.
So we're tracking up here up the Koha Gorge, and it shortly turns left. The river that heads up straight up the hill is the Roaring Meg, and there's a hydroelectric power scheme on that, and the generation is all done at the bottom, but they pipe the water down from a dam about halfway up that river straight ahead of us. So just coming up towards the Roaring Meg and the power station located just down at the bottom here. Just above that power station, a lot of the trees have been killed off on the hillside there. Those were Canadian wilding pines, and they have killed them off for a purpose. They're hoping that they'll die off and then they'll regenerate native bush here. The Canadian wilding pine is really taken to growing in New Zealand, and you'll see some hillsides that have really been taken over by it. So the power station just below us, and just as we come around the corner here, where the river's really narrow down there used to be a spot where the Maori used to jump from one side of the river to the other. I think the farmer got so fed up with people coming and looking and traipsing across his land, that he actually blew the rock up and so opened the gap up, unfortunately. Roaring Meg in your hotel India's Roaring Meg just trapping left hand round Mount Difficulty at 2,300 feet. So we're tracking south now, heading towards the Nevis Valley out in front of us. Nevis Valley is an interesting place. A lot of gold mining took place in there, and they endured incredibly harsh conditions up there. A lot of people lost their lives up in the Nevis Valley. Eventually the government allowed them a two-month grace period in the winter when they could come and leave the land during the worst period. The valley out to the right-hand side heads around to Queenstown. Gibson Valley with all the wineries. That's Mount Rosa just on the other side of the main road there. And we're tracking down towards the Nevis bungee jump, which is the 134-metre bungee jump that's strung across the beginning of the Nevis Valley. It's a cable car type structure along with the power lines, and we'll see it's just on the beginning of the Nevis Valley ahead of us. Queenstown control airspace starts just on our right hand side, just on the other side of that bridge there. And the big jets descend into the Gibson Valley before landing at Queenstown.
Yeah, like the Whiskey Creek north of Queenstown Hill Lake jumps in 6,500 feet or below, QNH 1026.
So yep, the Nevis bungee just up on our right hand side. You can see the cable car structure. Can't see anybody actually jumping at the moment. Although the bungee seems to be, there is somebody just swinging just underneath the cable car.
6080, passing flight level 190, contact crash control 129.
So the big mountains off on our right hand side are the Remarkables up there. And Queenstown's located just behind the Remarkables on the other side. We're going to turn now left for these power lines up through here, descend down towards Bannockburn, show you a bit of Bannockburn before crossing the valley and landing in Cammuir.
I'm going to be brief, was it, until that traffic is doing that, he's on the 232 back to the limit from an ATR shortly to depart.
The track down here below Graham, is that the one going up to the hut? That stuff is in the wee saddle here?
Yes, it is
actually, yeah. Yep.
The hut's just down there in that U bend, isn't it?
obviously got some local knowledge on board. That's something I know more. I don't know too much about here.
That's the missionaries hut as well.
See the hut?
Yeah.
Oh, it's at that little hut up in the valley there.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Here's a wee pass here, isn't it?
Yeah, we're following the power lines back down towards Bannockburn ahead of us, into Long Gully.
This is Slapjack Saddle.
Kilo, request drop on 5160.
If you get a quick drop on flight level 160.
Better drop on 5160, run up 2 kilos.
So yeah, we're descending down towards Bannockburn. Long Gully's ahead of us. Now we'll fly past the vineyards of Bannockburn. A good view forward of the whole of the Dunstan Basin ahead of us. Far distance of the St Bathans Ranges right on the horizon, with the Lindis Pass to the left-hand side of that. As we come across here, we're coming across the Bannockburn sluicings out in front of us. An extensive area of historical gold mining, where they used to wash away the soil for the gold. Up on the top right-hand side is the old historical ruins of Stewartstown, in amongst the small trees there. A guy by the name Stewart, he set up a dam system there and provided water for the miners, and probably made a lot more money than most of the miners by providing the water system for them. Just down on the left-hand side is Mount Difficulty Winery down here, and the restaurants. And then we're just over by Bannockburn, a nice historical hotel down here. Bannockburn Hotel on the corner there on the left. We're just passing the Canmere Inlet down here on the left, and on the other side of there, more of the vineyards. Carrick Winery up there on the left.
Roaring MiG twinning straight on for Mach 23.
Cromwell traffic, India Hotel India's Bannockburn this time, tracking up to land, top end of Canmere Station. So we're now tracking across Canmere Station in front of us, one of the stations that we do heli biking off. So we'll be going and landing at our heli biking landing spot up the top. The heli biking tracks all run down to our left-hand side. See Leaning Rock for the first time today. The clouds just cleared. We did have a job to take some people up there for celebration of their 80th birthday today, but it's been in the cloud all day long, so we'll reschedule for tomorrow. The Leaning Rock just on the other side up there. As we come up here, we're just coming up towards, there's an old mustering hut just in the valley ahead of us, and the sheep pens are all up on the right-hand side. There's a water race just underneath the nose of the helicopter as well, so just done some, they would have had the water race for historical gold mining as well. The muster's hut just in the valley, just down here on the right. We kept it in good condition. So we're just going up to the top of Mount Jackson up here, and we'll be landing up here. Once I've landed, it just takes me a few minutes just to put secure the controls on the helicopter. Whilst I'm securing the controls of the helicopter, I'll ask that you swap the headsets across back to the ear defenders that you boarded the helicopter with. Then please wait for me to come round to the doors and I'll let you out. Just be warned, there's a lot of spear grass up here, and it hurts like hell if you stub your toe into a spear grass, even if you've got shoes on. They come through there. We have a lot of problems with the mountain bike punches from the spear grass. So I need to stay reasonably close to the helicopter. I'm happy to take photographs for anybody who wishes to have a photograph taken. But feel free to wander a bit further away than I am. Once I open the doors, it's probably an indication that I think it's about time we should start heading off. But you guys can wander back as well when you're ready as well.
Okay, clear to drop and descend and report clear, copy ADR.
Delta Bravo Victor, shot 14, clear for takeoff.
A sample of a spear grass bush right in front of the nose of the helicopter. So watch those bushes, they hurt.
Low rotor. Low rotor.
She's just the mistress in the helicopter. So I'm just securing the controls. I'll ask you to swap the headsets across to the ear defenders.
And you're cleared to Rat Point by Bunch Bridge, Arrowtown, Coronet Peak, and the township, 6,500 feet or below. Delta Bravo Victor, ready to make your ascent extremely. Hotel, thanks for that, and you're cleared on track 1.